Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fulton Street Beats. It's good to have you here again. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Consider sharing and subscribing because, well, it really helps the YouTube algorithm and helps me bring you more cool guitar unboxings. For every like and sub that I get, well, I can bring you more cool stuff, and that's a win-win situation. What we have in front of me, and if you haven't heard this name before, I'm sure you will, is a Cathy Zhong custom guitar. Cathy is a builder out of China, and I always heard her name, and I decided to give her a shot a while back. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know that now we have purchased a few guitars from this guitar builder, and no disappointment. And we also have another one that we haven't reviewed yet from her, but we will. And I have some other custom builds coming from her also. Now, I'm not just doing Cathy's guitars, but when I'm spending my money, not channel money, but my personal money, and I know I'm going to get quality, I'm going to go down that route, and of course I'm going to bring it to you too. Now, this particular guitar that's in this is something you guys might be interested in. And it seems that Cathy is going to be doing a limited run series of certain style guitars. And we'll talk about that before this video is over. This one is something that you guys, it's one that you guys would be very probably excited to see, especially if you were a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. If you want something just to hang on your wall as memorabilia, this might be up your alley at a very reasonable price. But if I know Cathy, this guitar is quite playable and probably really good. Now keep in mind, this is a prototype. So the one that you get if you order one may be a little bit different. I can't say for sure, but I do know that this is a prototype, and the first initial run that she's going to do of these particular guitars is going to be 6. Now, I am not sure if these guitars will be numbered 1 through 6 with the SRVs. However, there's other guitars that will be coming out following these with limited run numbers numbered 1 through 6, and we'll talk about those because you guys are going to be excited to hear about those guitars. But first, let's open this guitar before we get ahead of ourselves and check it out. Now, I always use a razor blade to open these. There's usually a seam around the edge. You can follow the seam closely and nice and get in there kind of deep. You usually can get these things open with no issues. It's pretty simple if you, as long as you follow this basic line and the rule, and usually we don't have a mess. So hopefully we don't have a huge mess when I do this. No, we don't. Good. We did pretty good on that one. Getting good at these. Woo! Nitro finish. Nitro finish. Fresh build. Just immediately hits you. And the reason they use nitros on a lot of relics is because it's easier to relic the nitro than it is a poly. So let's see what we got here. It's packed extremely well. Let's look at our goodie bag here. What do we got in here? Of course, we got a cord. You always get a cord. And for those of you who order a lot of guitars, you probably have 100 of these by now, as do I. And then we have our relic'd trem bar in gold. And that is a left-handed trem bar. But it is not a left-handed guitar because, well, if you're a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, you know why. You know that he used a left-handed tremolo in his actual guitar. So let's put this stuff back here. And let's pull this out. Packaged very, very well. Trying to keep the foam in here. I don't want... There we are. So, we're going to do something just to prevent anybody from being kind of goofy. And I'm going to cover some things. If you guys want to see the logo on this guitar, head over to my Fulton Street Beats Facebook page and you can see any logos that you want. Keep in mind, this is a prototype. And let's check this out here. Ooh. Ooh. Love the smell of fresh builds. So here we go, guys. Right away. Wow. Let me take this in for a minute because this is I'll give you guys a little history. I had one of these from China not too long ago, and it was garbage. This one's not garbage. I can tell by looking at it right now in the feel of it. Really good weight to it too. We will weigh it. Let's weigh it right now. We'll get that out of the way. 7.57 pounds. So it is a pretty good weight. Now, the body. What a relic job. I'm just looking at the front so far, but what a relic job. Oh, okay. So I noticed things right off the bat. So they relic'd the bridge, and the saddles, actually, I think they actually used Fender saddles on this. They actually say Fender on the saddles. They may have used some Fender saddles on this. Very, very cool. Maybe, relic'd, really nice. Aged knobs, aged pickup covers. Got the gold screws. Wow, it's just done super nice. We got the different color wood in here. So they use some kind of a template to do this for sure, but very cool. One thing I'm noticing is the frets on this thing. These are jumbo frets. Man, they're close to it. They're polished nicely. The fretboard is beautiful. Check the action on this thing. Just give me a second to really take this all in, because I'm looking for a blemish or a flaw. And keep in mind, this is a relic guitar, but I'm looking for something that would stand out that shouldn't be there. Now, this neck, and I don't know, but there's a lot of rumors out there that these style guitars, some of them don't have truss rods. I assure you, this is going to have a truss rod. And if it's anything like the original would be, it's going to be at the base of the neck up in. So we might have to remove the pick guard to get to that. But what an outstanding job on the relic. And let's look at the back. The relic, the tune. Oh, that neck. Wow. So it's a C. It's like a Fender C, but it's on the slimmer side. It's not a baseball bat like most of them, which, I mean, it feels worn in. It actually feels worn in. Very cool. We got the SR Vaughan on the back here, kind of etched in and colored in a little bit. And it does have a small block on it, but it does have all the springs. It's routed out extremely, extremely well. CNC routed, actually. They have a nice, I'm pretty sure that's an authentic Fender neck plate on it. So, looks just like my Fender over here, but exact. So, they could be using some authentic parts on this. But keep in mind, this is a prototype. It's got the nice flat style strap buttons. Very cool. Let's pop this trim in and see if this works here. Very strong Nitro smell. Very strong. All right, yeah, that is nice, guys. I can't say enough of that. That's a beautiful guitar. Looks alone. Hanging this on the wall as a fan. Amazing. Amazing job. Just amazing. It is a 3-ply pick guard. It's cut extremely well. And obviously cut for this reversed bridge. And if you guys haven't played a bridge, the tremolo hangs down, man, I like it. It's easier to play and work than a standard version. I never knew I'd like that. So let's see. I'm pretty sure it's in tune. What the world? Okay, we gotta check this out, because I'm pretty sure that this guitar is in tune. Let's see what we got here. We're off a touch. When I say a touch, I mean a touch there. Wow, it's close. It's so close, guys. Each one. So this was tuned up and set up by the looks of it. Wow, guys, how crazy is that? I don't think that's happened very rarely on this channel. So let's check action real quick. and see what we got for action. Action is 1.75. I want to check it with this gauge also to make sure that these are the same. 1.75. So not super low, but not super. 1.5. 1.5 millimeters, not in inches, millimeters. Very comfortable action for a Strat style guitar. Very comfortable. Very cool. So these guitars are rumored, and I'm going to leave a link to Cathy, but keep in mind this is for media and transparency purposes. And that is it. I'll leave a link so you guys can look at these guitars. I don't think they're even out, but if they are, maybe you can get some information on them. But very cool. And you got a chance. Rumor has it there's going to be 6 initial runs of these. So how that works, you'll have to work out with her. I don't know. But give her a shout. Look her up on Facebook. I'll leave the links that I have, but it's for media and transparency purposes, so you guys know exactly what's going on. I just present the information. What you guys do with the information is totally up to you. Very, very cool guitar, at least this prototype is. Let's plug it in here and see what we got. Okay, well, it works, and it works in all positions. And then we're going to play this thing, and then I'll come back with some final thoughts. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, there you have it. Now, I want to be perfectly clear about this. That was out of the box. I moved my bench back. I sat in, I plugged it into my Marshall Code 50, had the backing track ready to go. What you're hearing is just the mic's picking up the room sound, except for the backing track. The backing track is recorded directly into the DAW, but the room sound is what was recorded into the DAW. So what you're hearing from this guitar is factory strings, the setup it came with, literally whatever time it was for me to get over here and play it, which was just a matter of minutes. That's what you heard. That's what the guitar sounds like. That's a realistic sound, out of the box, room sound. I don't think it's bad. They're not microphonic. The pickups sound really, really good. I'm going to come back and get some values for this thing because I just broke the alligator clips on my multimeter. But I can tell you, that, as you could tell when I just hit those first notes, starting out in that backing track, these pickups are quite hot. They scream. When I got done, I just did a little bit of metal with it, and oh my God. So this guitar is very well rounded. It does everything really, really well. If I haven't mentioned, the frets on this thing, the fret job is simply amazing. Every guitar I've gotten from Cathy, the fret job has been amazing. They're level. They actually, whoever's setting her guitars up is doing it right and taking the time to do it right, and that's a bonus. Now, is every guitar like that? I'm sure, I always say this, probably not, but so far it's been really good. Now, I promised you guys we would talk about the other guitars that are going to be a limited run. And yes, guys, they will be coming to the channel. I will be getting the prototypes of these guitars. So I'll be purchasing those. You guys will be getting the production models. Mine aren't going to be numbered, so I'm not getting anything special. You guys are going to get something special. So the runs that she's going to do, and I'm not sure about these ones, so I want to make that clear. I don't know if these guitars are going to be numbered 1 through 6. The other ones are going to be numbered 1 through 6 on the back for that first production run. And they may change after the first production run. They may change up. I have a feeling they're not, the first production run is going to be the good ones. In other words, they might be a little bit on the pricier side, but well worth it. And I think the ones after that are just going to be what you order. You know how you kind of get what you pay for. But you'll have something a little bit limited for sure. So she's going to be doing an SG, and I'm going to let the cat out of the bag on this, and I wasn't going to. She's going to be doing like a... Now, you guys know things have to be changed on these guitars. There's certain criteria that has to be met, and they need to be changed. So it's not that they can't make things exact like you guys would want. It's just that they don't, and that's for, well, legal reasons. So they don't do that, okay? When you look at a guitar and you say, well, this is off a little bit here and this is off, that's on purpose, and that's by design. For everything that you get right, there's something moved someplace else on the guitar. Be it a millimeter or 2 in thickness or whatever, what have you. So this guitar is going to be based loosely off a 1970 SG, a Gibson SG. But this is going to be really unique because this is going to be based off of Angus Young's original 1970, the one he started playing on. And when he started playing SGs, this is going to be in walnut with the vibrola. It's going to have a neck volute on the back. The horn bevels is going to be more 60s style horn bevels than the 70 for obvious reasons, like we just said. I assure you it's going to be a beautiful guitar with a long neck tenon. That's right. It's going to have the swimming pool cutout, and that is because that's the way it should be, because Angus's guitar originally was a 3 pickup guitar. And then he went back and changed it to 2 and removed the vibrato and painted the guitar black. So this is going to be along the lines of right after he started doing some modifications. It'll be a 2 pickup version. Hopefully this comes with a light relic. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it's going to be a nitro finish with a light relic. Don't quote me, but it's going to be 1 through 6. But this is the best part. There's no Gibson logo on the headstock. That's right. There will be no Gibson logo on the headstock. So for those of you who want a Gibson logo on it, it's not going to happen. These are going to be for the people who don't want a trademark on it. It is actually going to say Angus up top with a devil tail coming off of it for the logo, with a unique serial number on the back, and a 1 through 6, whatever number you decide to get. How cool is that? Now, the other guitar that she's going to be doing is the James Hetfield OGV, Flying V, and that's going to be a very cool one also. So yes, she is going to be making the knockoff of James Hetfield's knockoff, his made in Japan knockoff. That is right. Complete with middle finger and everything else. Hopefully the correct relicing and something a little bit special on the neck plate on the back, and also labeled 1 through 6 on the back. Guys, don't bother her to get these guitars right now. You're simply not going to be able to, not this limited run. But as soon as they come to the channel and the video is released, you guys will should be able to place your order for one. But you're going to have to be quick if you want one to get the 1 through 6. After the 1 through 6, I'm not saying you still can't get them, but they're not going to be part of that limited run that's going to be ready to rock and roll and ready to ship. That's what we mean by that. And she's going to be doing this quite frequently with a lot of guitars, so keep that in mind. So what do I think about this SRV? Holy shit, is it fantastic. Like, I am not a Strat guy. You guys all know that. I'm not a Strat guy. I have a habit of turning down the volume. But what I'm finding is I'm playing this differently. Because of this tremolo being in the position it is, my hand doesn't hit the volume. So maybe that's another reason why Stevie Ray Vaughan did that. You know, we were always told that he did it because of Hendrix. But this is really, really cool. And hopefully this... All right, guys, I am back. I had to chase a solicitor off the porch who can't read the no trespassing sign and the no soliciting sign. He ran down the road. Don't interrupt the Fulton Street Beats video when it's in progress. Yeah, don't do that. It's not a good idea. Anyhow, Cathy SRV. She hit this thing out of the park, right? I mean, she really, really did. You guys... There's nothing bad you can say about this guitar. The worst you could say about this guitar is, oh, it doesn't have a big brass block. But it seems to sustain very well. And if we look at the saddles, it actually says Fender on them. This thing held tune through the whole demo that you heard. I had to split it because it's like a 15-minute track. So I had to cut some parts out. And I didn't sugarcoat it and pick the best. I actually picked the worst parts to show you guys, because I figured that would be the realism of it, to show you guys the worst parts, and then you can make an informed decision based on the worst it can sound, and that's about the worst it can sound. Very cool guitar. Man, Cathy, you hit it out of the park on this. I am excited to have this guitar. This is an exciting guitar. No, it might not be one of the 1 through 6, but it's a prototype, right? I mean, there's nothing that says prototype or anything on it, but it's a prototype. And hopefully the other guitars are just as cool. And I want to thank you guys for watching Fulton Street Beats. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Yay or nay? Is it for you or is it not? Look at this guitar. You're going to love playing it, guys. We're going to put some fresh strings on this one, too. Even though these sound good, I imagine this thing's really going to come to life with some slinkies on it. All right, guys. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Remember, it's rock and roll that makes the world do that twirly thing. Peace. Bye.